All right, so ready to finally conquer that mountain of work organization, tips and tricks. But where do you even start?
Yeah, it can be a little overwhelming.
That's where we come in. Today's deep dive is going to take us through this BSBPEF301 learner resource,
Oh, wow.
which is basically a course document on
Yeah,
organizing personal work priorities.
perfect.
Exactly what you need. We'll extract the gold nuggets so you can actually put these ideas into practice.
Yeah, and what I love about these kinds of resources is that they skip all the fluff and they just get right to the actionable stuff.
Right to it.
No theory lectures, just practical tools that you can use right away.
Okay, so first up, SMART goals.
Yes.
I feel like we hear this everywhere, but
Mhm.
honestly, it's one of those things it's easy to just gloss over.
Totally. It's a classic for a reason, but the way this document breaks it down is really useful.
Yeah.
They emphasize linking your personal goals to the overall goals of your organization.
Which makes total sense, but is often overlooked.
Right.
It's like you might be crushing your personal to-do list, but if
Yeah.
it's not actually moving the needle for the company, what's the point?
Exactly. Think of it this way. You're tasked with launching a new product line, but your personal goal is to become a better public speaker.
Okay.
Both worthy goals, but how can you connect them?
Yeah.
Maybe you volunteer to present at the product launch, honing your skills while contributing directly to the company's success. Suddenly, it's not just about checking boxes, it's about strategic alignment.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So much more motivating than just a generic,
Right.
be more productive
Yeah,
kind of goal, which, let's be honest, most of us are guilty of setting at some point.
absolutely. And speaking of productivity, this document has a really practical method for prioritizing tasks, the ABCDE method.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of this one. Basically, you assign a letter to each task based on urgency and importance, right?
Right, but the way they explain it here is so clear. Imagine you're a project manager juggling multiple deadlines. An A task might be finalizing that critical presentation due tomorrow. A B task could be responding to emails important but can wait a few hours. And then you've got those C tasks, things that would be nice to do but aren't urgent or crucial.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's a way of forcing yourself to be honest about what really deserves your attention. No more just bouncing from one thing to the next, reacting to whatever pops up first.
Exactly, and you know what they suggest you tackle first?
What's that?
Those dreaded tasks that you keep putting off.
Yeah.
The things that fall into the don't want to do, BUT need to do category.
We've all got those lurking in the back of our minds. The report that's due next week, the difficult conversation you need to have with a colleague, the stuff we know we need to do but keeps getting pushed aside.
And the document highlights how getting these done early can be a huge win. Not only do you free up mental space, but you also avoid that last-minute scramble and the stress that comes with it.
Totally. Okay, so we're setting SMART goals. We're prioritizing pros. Now, how do we actually manage our time to get all this done?
Well, the document dives into a bunch of specific techniques, but what I found really interesting is the emphasis on finding your personal time management style. It's not about forcing yourself into a mold that doesn't fit.
Which makes sense, right?
Mm.
We've all got different rhythms. Some people thrive on structure and routine. Others need more flexibility. I know I'm definitely a morning person. If I try to do my most important work in the evening, it's just not going to happen.
Exactly. This is where self-awareness comes in. The document encourages experimenting with different techniques to figure out what works best for you. Maybe you're someone who needs to block out focused time on your calendar to get anything done. Or maybe you're more of a multitasker who thrives on juggling different projects throughout the day.
And the document mentions a bunch of different techniques to try out to-do lists, breaking tasks down into smaller steps, even just timing how long you spend on activities to get a better handle on where your time is going.
And speaking of time-saving tools, the document doesn't shy away from the role technology can play in all of this.
Oh yeah, there's a whole world of apps and software out there designed to help us stay organized and on track.
From those classic spreadsheets and Gantt charts to online project management platforms, there's a tool for every need and every learning style.
I've definitely become a fan of those online project management tools, especially when working on collaborative projects. It's so much easier to keep everyone on the same page when you have a centralized system for tracking task deadlines and progress.
And the document points out that having these systems in place can also help you anticipate potential roadblocks and come up with contingency plans.
Because, let's be honest, things don't always go according to plan, right? There are always going to be unexpected challenges and obstacles that pop up.
Exactly. And this document doesn't sugarcoat that. It dedicates a whole section to roadblocks and contingency planning, highlighting a bunch of factors that can hinder you from achieving your goals. We're talking everything from unclear objectives and lack of resources to even things like workplace hazards.
Workplace hazards. I don't think I've ever considered that as part of my personal work organization strategy.
But it makes sense when you think about it. Imagine you're a construction worker tasked with building a retaining wall, but the site hasn't been properly surveyed for underground utilities. That's a major safety hazard that could derail the entire project.
So the document is saying it's not just about managing your own time and tasks. It's about being aware of the broader context and potential risks that could impact your work.
Absolutely. A good contingency plan asks, what's the worst that could happen and how can I minimize the damage? It's about turning anxiety into proactive problem solving.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already. Smart goals, prioritizing tasks, time management, anticipating roadblocks. But how do we actually know if we're on the right track? That's where monitoring progress and seeking feedback come in, right?
Exactly. And the document has some really insightful advice on how to do that effectively. But before we jump into that, let's take a quick break and come back refreshed. Welcome back.
All right, so, as we were diving into this material,
Yeah.
it really struck me how much it emphasizes self-awareness,
Right.
which I think is so crucial for personal growth, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's refreshing, isn't it? It's not just about blindly following a checklist. It's about understanding your own strengths, weaknesses, and how you work best.
Exactly, and that's super important when it comes to evaluating your work performance,
Oh, for sure.
which is what this next section is all about.
It's like taking a step back and looking at your work with a critical but constructive eye. Are you meeting your deadlines, hitting those quality benchmarks? But it goes beyond that. It's about recognizing those variations.
Variations, what do you mean by that?
Well, the document defines variations as those differences between what you planned or expected to happen and
Right.
what actually happened.
Oh, I see. So, maybe you plan to finish a project by Friday, but unexpected roadblocks push it to Monday.
Exactly. And those variations are valuable data points. They can highlight roadblocks, areas where you might need additional support or training, or even just places where your initial plan needs a little tweaking.
So it's not about beating yourself up if things don't go perfectly according to plan. It's about using those variations as learning opportunities.
Precisely, the document outlines several ways to track your progress and spot these variations. Work, measurement, observation surveys, and of course, utilizing technology.
Oh, yes, the tech tools come in handy again.
Huh.
I've found that using a simple time tracking app can be really eye-opening. You might think you're spending a lot of time on a specific task, but when you actually track it, you realize it's only a small fraction of your day.
Those data insights are powerful, and the document encourages us to go beyond just our own self-assessment and seek out feedback from others.
Because, let's face it, we all have blind spots, right? Sometimes a fresh perspective from a colleague or mentor can help us see things in our work that we might have missed.
They call it 360-degree feedback.
Oh, yeah.
Getting insights from supervisors, colleagues, and even clients, it paints a more comprehensive picture of your work's impact.
Okay, so let's say you've gathered all this feedback. What do you do with it? How do you make it actionable?
That's where the rubber meets the road. The document emphasizes that feedback isn't just about collecting information and filing it away. It's about using it to improve your performance.
So it's not enough to just say, thanks for the feedback, and then continue doing things the same way. You have to actually analyze the feedback,
Yeah.
interpret what it means, and figure out how to apply it to your work.
And that might involve revisiting your original work plan, identifying areas where you can adjust your approach, or seeking out additional training or resources. It's about that continuous cycle of learning and improvement.
It's interesting because we've been talking a lot about the practical side of things, setting goals, prioritizing tasks, managing time.
Right,
Uh,
right.
but there's also this underlying theme of mindset and self-awareness that keeps coming up.
Absolutely. This document doesn't shy away from the fact that personal growth can be challenging. It can be stressful to push ourselves outside of our comfort zones, to try new things, to face those areas where we need to improve.
And that's where stress management comes in, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about ticking off tasks on a to-do list. It's about taking care of ourselves
Yeah.
so we can show up as our best selves in our work.
And the document actually dedicates a whole section to stress management,
Oh, wow.
which we'll explore in more detail in part 3.
All right, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into organizing personal work priorities. We've covered setting goals, prioritizing tasks, managing our time, dealing with those like inevitable roadblocks, and even touched on the importance of feedback and self-awareness.
Right.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to explore.
Yeah, and it's a big one, coordinating personal skill development. This chapter goes beyond just managing your current workload. It's about taking a proactive approach to your career growth.
So it's about figuring out what skills you need not only to like excel in your current job,
Yeah.
but also to prepare for like future opportunities.
Exactly. The document breaks it down into two categories: personal learning needs and professional development needs.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Well, think of personal learning needs as those core skills that are valuable across a wide range of jobs and industries. Things like communication, problem solving, teamwork, adaptability, time management, those foundational skills that help you navigate any work environment effectively.
Yeah, those are the skills that make you like a valuable asset no matter where you go or what you do.
Right. And then there are professional development needs, which are more specific to your particular job role or industry. This could involve technical skills, software proficiency knowledge of industry regulations, or anything else that's directly relevant to your current or desired career path.
So how do we go about figuring out which skills we should be focusing on?
Well, the document recommends starting with a needs assessment. This could involve looking at your past performance reviews, seeking feedback from colleagues and supervisors, and even engaging in some honest self-reflection. Where do you excel? What are your areas for growth?
It's about being proactive and taking ownership of your professional development rather than just waiting for someone to tell you what to do.
And the document also emphasizes the importance of having conversations with your supervisor or a mentor. They can often provide valuable insights into the skills that are most in demand in your field and what opportunities for development might be available within your organization.
It's like having a personal career coach in your corner,
Yeah.
guiding you towards the skills and experiences that will help you advance.
Exactly. And once you've identified those skill gaps, the document presents a whole menu of options for professional development. You've got formal training programs, workshops, conferences, mentoring opportunities, online courses, self-directed learning. There's really something for every learning style and budget.
I was particularly intrigued by the section on self-directed learning.
Oh, yeah.
It's about empowering yourself to take charge of your own growth. If you're passionate about a particular topic or want to develop a specific skill, there are so many resources available online and offline.
That's what's so exciting about the learning landscape today. You don't necessarily have to enroll in a formal degree program or wait for your employer to send you to a training course. You can take the initiative to curate your own learning journey.
Right, and the document encourages us to document our progress along the way. Keeping a record of those training certificates, workshops, attended online courses, completed even just your own notes and reflections from books you've read.
It's like building a portfolio of your professional development, showcasing the skills and knowledge you've acquired. It's not just about learning for learning's sake. It's about being able to demonstrate your growth to potential employers or clients.
And speaking of feedback, the document stresses how important it is to integrate feedback into your learning process. It's not just a one-and-done thing. It's about continuously seeking input on how you're applying those new skills and making adjustments as needed.
It's that cyclical process we've been talking about throughout this entire deep dive. Set goals, take action, monitor your progress, seek feedback, make adjustments, and keep learning. It's a continuous journey of growth and development.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Well, the key takeaway here is that personal and professional development shouldn't be viewed as a chore or something you only do when forced. It's an investment in yourself, in your career, and in your future.
It's about embracing a growth mindset, recognizing that learning is a lifelong journey, and taking ownership of your own development.
And that's it for this deep dive into organizing personal work priorities. We hope you found it helpful and are ready to put these insights into action.
Remember, even small changes can make a big difference over time, so start small, stay consistent, and celebrate those wins along the way.
Until next time, happy organizing.